Good morning, everyone. I'm Emily Castro. I am here with Mr. Shawn Whiteside, Senior Vice President of OneZero Solutions. Thank you so much for coming today to 2025 Future of Deal Making Summit.
Thank you.
Are there any innovations or trends that will have a huge impact on deal making or business in general that others are underestimating right now?
I think AI is being underestimated by leaders, to be quite honest. A lot of people have heard of AI. They're using AI, and a lot of times people use ChatGPT or other models. But I think that leaders are underestimating the speed at which AI can impact deal making, whether it's through diligence, using AI to conduct diligence, using AI to look at the deal structure itself. Those leaders who don't use it are going to be left behind. So AI won't replace the leaders per se, but I do think that leaders who ignore the impact of AI potentially might be replaced by AI.
Oh.
So there's a little bit of a difference there. And I think that judgment will still be done by humans. You still need the human factor in there in terms of judgment, being able to look at deals being conducted, being able to look at all the different factors that go into a deal, to include resilience. And so I think the innovation in AI is already here, but I think ignoring the speed at which it's moving for private equity firms or M&A in general can be a detriment. In terms of trends, I think a trend that's happening right now and in a very positive manner is use on resilience. A lot of times, corporations, firms, companies have looked at resilience in a reactive way. So in other words, something breaks, we go and fix it. We react to the structures that need resiliency built into them, whereas now it's becoming much more of a proactive, system-wide integration with resilience. And that just in terms of cybersecurity or cyber means, the digital world, AI, all these things.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And where do you see the next wave of growth coming from your area of focus?
So my area of focus, the next wave of growth is resilience, actually. I think that now, in terms of M&A and private equity firms in general, resilience is being looked at not just as something they have to be considered. It's now a value multiplier. Being able to look at a firm that you're either acquiring or merging with and understanding that they have resilience built into their systems. They are able to withstand the pressures or the threat actors from across the world, helps to value that company. What you don't want to happen is a lot of times people say they'll do a cyber due diligence piece, for example. And a lot of times it's a company coming in with a checklist and simply asking the question of, have you been breached? Do you have these things in place? Is your system resilient? And so forth, without verifying. They come in and simply just check the box and say, here you are, you're clean, you're resilient, which, there's a need for that. That's part of the consulting side of the house, but understanding resilience includes being able to go into the system itself to verify. It's the trust but verify piece. But building resilience into valuations is a must thing, a must have. And I think that there's growth in resilience being looked at and used as a value multiplier.
And now, looking into the future, are there any particular sectors or geographies that you're excited about or seem poised for action?
Poised for action. I think the Middle East and Europe, they're investing heavily in infrastructure. And, one of the key things, I'll use maritime, for instance, being a retired U.S. Coast Guard officer, maritime is near and dear to me. And so we're seeing a lot of ports, logistics, the supply chain itself diversifying, it's growing, and companies and governments are investing heavily in the infrastructure. It's needed. Most world nations are maritime, or a fair amount. Now, the global supply chain is maritime. There's no other way to move the goods.
Yeah.
We have to use it by ship. So building out the infrastructure of the ports, the maritime community, and so forth, in particular, is important. And we're seeing this in the Middle East and in parts of Europe, where they're investing heavily in. But not just investing in port infrastructure, they're investing heavily in financial infrastructure. They're investing heavily in healthcare infrastructure. So that's where I think the two regions that are kind of moving along with innovation and growth, you see quite a bit of infrastructure being invested in.
Thank you so much. I wish you the very best, and we appreciate you here at M&A Advisors for coming to speak to us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for tuning into M&A TV. If this episode enhanced your strategic outlook, please like, subscribe, and share it with your network. For more critical insights and high-level interviews, follow us on all our socials and visit our hub at www.maadvisor.com. I'm Roger Argonaldo, and we'll see you next time right here on M&A TV, the definitive voice of dealmakers.